Robert in Dallas, North Carolina, not Dallas, Texas. Yes, there's a Dallas, North Carolina. Do I live on a public or private street? Ooh, so as part of a title search, the closing attorney, whenever you buy a property in North Carolina, we utilize closing attorneys here. North Carolina has deemed that the certification of title is the practice of law, and that many other aspects of the closing process are considered the practice of law. Thus, we use closing attorneys here in North Carolina. They will be able to analyze for you whether or not your property is on abuts or is adjacent to a public or private right-of-way. Now, the system isn't perfect because sometimes there's no indication even by a title search, and I'm speaking from practical and real experience here as a closing attorney from my practice. That is a complicated question depending on how old the property is, meaning when was the land, the existing formation of the land of boundary lines put together. If it was at a time when it was platted, after a certain point, it became a requirement for there to be an acknowledgement whether or not the property is adjacent to a public or private right-of-way. That wasn't always the case. So not necessarily a plat. That's a good indication. That should be a good help. Also, if you are within a subdivision, right, you can speak with your HOA because they should know as a governance entity whether or not the roads are publicly or privately maintained. Because if they are privately maintained, you would hope there would be a line item within the budget for those roads to continue to be maintained. You can reach out to the DOT. The DOT has implemented a new system. We'll include the resource link for it. I'm not going to say whether or not the system is 100% accurate or not. I haven't gone through it completely, but that was part of legislation a few years ago to create a system acknowledging whether or not roads were indeed public or privately maintained. And it's a system worth checking out to see and compare. If you know the answer, compare and see if your road is accurate and provide feedback. Help contribute accurate data to the system. So I would say you can call on a local attorney to do a title search if you want. Probably going to cost you some money to do that. Secondarily, if you're in an HOA, speak with your HOA, call the DOT. You can call your local municipality and ask them. See if they have any record, because as new roads are being developed, right, continuously, there is a dedication process. And so depending on the age of the road, there may be a record at the municipality level as well. So a couple of different avenues you can take to check that out, but great question. Thank you, Robert in Dallas, for sending that one in.